Well, here we are in Louisville, Kentucky. I was, I guess, going to make one of those homebrew flavored roadkill episodes that I've been making lately, but the car really hasn't had any issues, so I kind of drove it all the way from central Iowa all the way down here without a problem. Just goes to show if you have things set up and tuned right, you'll be just fine. Welcome to Louisville and New Year's, or Louisville, or however they say it here.
Okay, I got that one good one, so I
don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm just tall enough to see over everybody.
Alright, good. Hey, can we get a 3 for the morning? We got 2 good ones and 1 bad one.
2 6.
not so sure that's legal parking. Write him a ticket.
I am. If you have paper, I'll write him a ticket.
I do not have paper on me.
Oh, our tickets. No, we have paper. Hold on. You have a pen?
You have a marker.
But it's silk.
So here we are cruising down the road. Went down to Louisville or however they pronounce it for New Year's, and we're heading back. So I haven't really had any problems to speak of. It's about 400 some odd miles down here and 400 some back, and we're not having a problem whatsoever. I figured I'd make some sort of a roadkill video, but on account of not having any issues, it'd be pretty boring. So we'll just see what happens throughout the rest of the drive, but I'm fairly confident that nothing irregular will come up. Well, rolling through Indiana. Still no problems to speak of. Absolutely beautiful country out this way, so just cruising through and enjoying the drive, I guess. Traffic's moving pretty darn good here, so the 308's really helping out with the road trip stuff, but yeah, no complaints. The Rotstang's just doing what she's supposed to. It just goes to show when you got stuff tuned right, even garbage like this can be reliable, I guess. So just gonna keep right on trucking. Tell the populace what you're doing with your sock.
Your granola bar was melted. So I put it in my sock and hung it out the window. It's not be melted anymore.
I mean, I guess that works.
I'll see in about 10 minutes.
Give or take, give or take. Well, we're making our final push here. Got about 160 or so miles yet to go. Stopped in for the night and traded the girl for a set of wheels and tires. So got pretty aggressive tread on them, and I think those will do good for autocross. So that should be good. It'll go good with the lowering springs. So anyway, all in all, rolling right along, and I'm sure we're gonna make it home without a hitch at this point. Went over 1,000 miles without a problem. All right, now we're getting the first bit of fun. I don't know if you can see my windshield, but it's caking up with water pretty good. And on here, if I flip my wipers on, they don't do much good, and that's because the engine has so much blow-by that oil comes through those breathers on the valve cover and actually rolls out the hood hole and gets on my windshield, and then my wipers don't do so good. So that's pretty interesting. So just a fun fact about water and rain and humidity in the air, since I'm going to be driving through it for what looks like the duration of my trip home here. Your water and your moisture in the air and humidity actually works as a pre-ignition and detonation deterrent, because it actually cools your combustion chamber. It's kind of nature's water meth injection, so pretty neat about that. And you can actually, if you're on the drag strip and you have high humidity, you can run a few more degrees of ignition timing and run just a little bit leaner and put a little bit more power out of your engine if you have situations like this. So just an old school ignition timing, carbureted engine style tuning trick I figured I'd share with you all there while I'm rolling down the road. So going down the road here, the speedometer says 75, and with the tall 308s out back, that's probably you know, 80 mile an hour plus. So a good trick when you're hauling down the road here at excessive speeds way over the speed limit is to have someone in front of you and then also have someone behind you doing the same speed. Now in that way, if a cop sees you and pulls out, he's gonna pull out and get the guy behind you or in front of you, and it's a heck of a lot less likely that he's gonna pick you off in the middle. So I've been driving for a long time and I still somehow have never got a speeding ticket, but these are some of the little tricks I've picked up over the years. So if you're ever gonna go excessive speeds, always make sure you're in a pack and you're somewhere in the middle, and you should be safe to go. All right, so the next little bit of fun I'm encountering is the temperature's dropping in a hurry and it's raining, and I don't have any of my sandbags in the back, so I'm not gonna do all so good if it starts getting slick and icing up. So thankfully we got the studs on the front, but yeah, if this drops much more and gets down to 32, I'm gonna be in some trouble. Well, I guess we made it. Didn't quite lose anything off the engine, I don't think. We still got good manifold vacuum at idle. That's about the same oil pressure we've always had. It's a little bit less because we're running the 1040, but I saw that before we left, so everything still seems to be in working order. And I guess that's it. She made it. It's over 1,000 miles. All right, so that's that. Just like I drove the old 65 Galaxy back in 2015 all the way to Virginia, which is 1,400 miles, drove it all summer there and drove it the 1,400 miles back without issue. The Rotstang did just fine. It's about 1,000 miles there and 1,000 miles back, and took it like a champ, never had a single issue. It just goes to show that if you have your carburation, your ignition timing set up right, you shouldn't have any issues. So there's just, people seem to believe that these cars are archaic and you can't drive them. And you know, if you have everything set up right, you'll be just fine. And that's why I've made all these videos over the years on how to set up your carburation, your ignition timing, how to put these engines together right, and how to do things right so that you'll be just fine. And I encourage you to go watch those. So as you see here, I drove this car all the way to Louisville and all the way back without issue, and you know, it was relatively enjoyable, not a single problem.